Some episodes feel messy and loud. This one feels quiet. Quiet like when you realize it's cheaper for you to get along with your family members other than move out. Yeah. This episode isn't about financial advice. It's not about politics either. It's just about naming the truth that a lot of us are having to experience and live through. The fact that the cost of living and simply existing is far too high, and we can't afford it. And instead of getting help and support, we're expected to keep going anyway. I'm not here to fix it. I'm just here to sit in it for a while with you all. Welcome to Existential Office Hours with your host, Lori. So before I get into this topic, I do have my land acknowledgement here that I would like to say. So I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge that I'm currently broadcasting this podcast on stolen land that was once rich in generations of culture, biodiversity, sacred traditions, and wisdom, was passed down through generations, was disrupted by colonization, and bears the scars of history. Nevertheless, it continues to heal and regenerate despite ongoing violence. This land remains deeply rooted in Indigenous identity of those that were here before us, those from the Mississauga of the Credit, the Haudenosaunee, the Anishinaabe and the Wendake Neowentsu nations. Acknowledging these nations is important to me as a Black woman whose home was previously colonized and is now changed by these systems to address systemic oppression and colonization that continues to happen in our world today. The Mississauga, Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, and Wendake Neowentsu people of this land are not forgotten, despite the injustices and displacements they have faced. Like the Anishinaabe values, I am committed to reconciliation and minimizing my impact on the environment, and I continue to learn from, support, and uplift these communities, and I urge you to find ways to support Indigenous rights and communities following their values. Beautiful. So, today's podcast is not a fun topic. We're talking about the financial struggle and the idea of having to have it all together when you're 20s, and when you're in your 20s, your young adulthood. And it's not a fun topic, and it's not an easy topic either. But I think it is important to share because I feel like a lot of us are on this boat, and a lot of us are in the same boat, and we don't really have anyone to talk to about it, or we just don't know what to do. And like I said before, I'm not here to give financial advice, but I do want to shed some light on it and make someone feel like they're not alone in this feeling. So for me, I get really anxious, like just checking my bank account. It's really, really stressful for me. And, I don't even know if it's about like checking what's there. I think it's more about checking what's not there. But yeah, like I told myself I would do like money dates with myself every month, once a month. I don't know how long it would take, 30 minutes to an hour. And told myself that start of the year. We're in April. It hasn't happened. But, I wanted to do that just so I could like kind of get a gist and an idea of what I was spending my money on, and see if I could like better allocate money when I budget, which I'll get into my budgeting later. But how and where I'm spending my money, that didn't happen. And I feel like a part of that is just like the looming like shame and guilt I'll feel over doing that, which is my next topic. But I really don't even spend my money on that many things. I'll fill you guys in when I get over the budgeting stuff, but I really don't spend my money on that much stuff. I'm a thrifting girly. Like, I love Facebook Marketplace, love Value Village, but yeah, like, and I'm also a very minimal person. Part of that is because I have no money. Another part of that is because I'm trying to like cut back consumerism practices. But yeah, it's really scary. And yeah, I feel this like overwhelming sense of like guilt and shame whenever I have to spend money, like even if it's on things I need. Like if I come home late from work one day, I live pretty far from my work, so after traffic and everything, if I come home late, no one's cooked, I have to be up again at 6 a.m. And I don't want to like make a whole meal. I feel bad just like thinking about going out and buying food or like ordering food, like a $13 meal. $13. I feel guilty about that, and it's something no one should feel guilty about because it's literally food. Like, it's a necessity. You need it. And so I just make some crafts dinner, some KD. But it's crazy because, like, it's not like I'm wanting this, like, expensive designer bag or something. I just want dinner. And I can't. I have to choose between, dinner now or having the costs like add up and bite me in the butt later. And I have to pay for gas too, so that's another thing. Luckily gas prices are not that bad right now, but yeah, just like the money like really truly adds up, and that's the scary part. Not even like making the purchase in the moment, just like seeing how much it adds up. And maybe that's why I haven't started doing my monthly money dates. And then there's this like idea that I have of like constantly budgeting, and the budgeting mindset is so sad. It's sad because I don't have a lot of money. If I had a lot of money, maybe it would be fine. But it's rough because I feel like I'm constantly budgeting my money, but it's like not even getting me anywhere, or it's not really going to good use. And so, I want to talk about the expectation of like, if you go to school, graduate, study hard in university and post-secondary, graduate that, get a job, and if you work hard, get promoted, whatever, save up, you'll be able to move out and rent somewhere, and you'll be able to save up again and like buy a home. And that's the expectation, but it's not the reality that a lot of us are experiencing. We did the things they told us to do. We went to school, we graduated. Some of us are getting jobs right now. But where's that going? Like, we still aren't stable, and I recognize that I'm still pretty young, but I think this is also a problem that people older than me are experiencing as well in our current economy. Like, they also did the steps and saved up, but where's their money going? They don't know. Guys, it's really concerning that the older adults are having this problem. And I don't mean older like 50s, 40s, because I would hope they are okay. But I mean like, in their 30s and whatnot. And so it's like frustrating knowing that we grew up thinking if we check off these boxes, someday we'll be stable and we'll be okay and we can like go buy a house, rent a place, whatever. But being in this moment and then realizing that's not true. It's not true. And this month for me was especially difficult because it's also like tax month, but it's especially difficult for me because I think I'm just starting to like realize with my budgeting, like, wow, it's just like budgeting has just made me hyper aware of where my money goes and how I spend it without like actually going through like every single interaction or transaction that I've put out. It's just really made me hyper aware to that, and I don't know how much I like it. And then even like with this month is like tax return month, so you would think like, oh, you get some cushion, you get something. But it's like, thanks for giving me my money back that you took from me. And don't get me wrong, like, paying taxes is a privilege, and I am all for paying taxes if that means like, bettering the community and helping support people. But who's being supported? I don't feel supported. Do you feel supported? I don't think the homeless people in the streets of the city feel too supported. I don't know, I could be wrong. But yeah, and then there are people like that are hiding homelessness, which basically means just like, living in their car or living with a friend type thing, because they can't afford to make ends meet. And so yeah, like, thanks for the money back. Like, sure, it does something, but not much. And so again, with my budgeting, it's like, I'll tell you guys how I like budget actually. So I have like 3 categories: saving, spending, bills. And in my bills category is just like my credit cards, my insurance payment, and my like student loan payment. And then in my saving, I have two main savings accounts. I have an FHSA, which I haven't put money in that in a long time. I took money out. No, I do not have a home. But I took money out, and I would love to keep putting money in there, but where's the money gonna come from? Someone tell me where it's gonna come from. And so those are my 2 main savings. And then I also have like a miscellaneous saving, which I've never ever I started budgeting last January. I've never put money in there. Yeah. So just for like, if I want to do something nice for myself, yeah, that doesn't happen. So other than my 2 savings account, then I have spending, and that's just for like, gas, groceries and whatever. And yeah, I'll let you guys know right now, my spending money is a whopping $200 for the bi-weekly, like every paycheck, like whopping $200 for 2 weeks. In theory, it sounds like, a decent bit, like $200, like, that's $200. And I feel like I would be able to make it work if it was like, years ago. But no. Gas itself is like crazy. Thankfully, gas is going down, so I could fill my tank with like $35. Granted, my tank isn't empty, okay, contrary to popular belief. But before it would be like $60, and that's like already like a decent bit out of that $200. And then I have to do groceries. I don't know why 5 things cost $100. I don't know. We had that little tax break for our groceries, and I didn't even notice it, but I guess now I'm starting to notice it. Damn. So yeah, that's like basically most of the $200 gone, which is crazy. Like, are you telling me I need like $400 just spending money, like just for necessities too? Like, I don't know what else I would go buy. I'm not going shopping or to the mall or whatever. I purposely stay in my house because I cannot afford to go anywhere. So I'm not like doing leisure activities. Truly, I'm not. And like, you're telling me just like $400 for spending just to survive. That's crazy. It's really crazy, and it's sad. And so I was speaking with some of my coworkers about this, and one of them mentioned something that I think I was always thinking, I just couldn't like put into words. And it's just basically the fact that we're unlike our parents. Our parents could like check off the boxes, go to school, graduate, get a job, save up, and they would see their job, their work money, they would see it going somewhere. Like, they could afford rent, they could get groceries, they could do leisure activities. But we're not seeing that go anywhere. Like, we're working so hard, full time, whatever, however much you work, and you're seeing your money go nowhere. Like, half, or maybe not half, but a quarter of your paycheck is going towards groceries, just food. to survive. I actually did the math because I was fuming about this. And if someone works minimum wage, which I feel like minimum wage should be like the base, like the norm for where we like set things ranging from. But maybe I'm crazy. But anyways, so take this in. Minimum wage is about like 17 something an hour. If you're working minimum wage and you want to rent somewhere like a one bedroom place in the GTA, so not just Toronto, GTA on average is like $1,900 upwards. If you want to sleep beside your dishwasher in a studio cardboard box, you can get that at the cheap price, low price of $1,500 upwards. So I'm not joking. And I looked at the stats from just different rental like websites and stuff. So yeah, that's lovely and wonderful. And so if you're looking at someone with a minimum wage job, I'm getting a little mathy here, but try to stay with me. If you're looking at someone with a minimum wage job, they're making approximately, roughly, I don't remember if it's before or after tax I did, but roughly like $2,500 a month. Okay, before tax. Okay, so if they want the privilege of having a bedroom, that's like $2,000. That's like, I don't know how much of a percentage, but like $2,000 out of your $2,500 pay is just going towards rent. Just rent alone, not Wi-Fi, utilities, groceries, none of that. Just your rent. And then you have fun figuring out how to budget the rest of that $500 before tax. It's crazy. Like, our money is like, where is it going? And the fact that that's the norm, like the average rent cost for like a one bedroom is crazy, because I'm pretty sure places are still paying people like minimum wage. So why is it not adding up? I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, maybe that's just me, but how are we supposed to imagine a future when we can barely afford the present? Like, literally, how are we supposed to like think about like, oh yeah, I want to like save for a house, when we could barely like afford dinner at the grocery store? And how are we supposed to find meanings in the jobs we do and the work we complete if we can't even meet our like absolute basic needs? I'm talking basic, okay? Food, I don't know, shelter. Like, it's crazy, and they want us to continue to just like act like nothing's wrong and we're thriving and life is all peachy when we can't even afford to live. I feel like I'm saving and investing, which, mind you, too, like, we're told, like, our parents, they just have to, like, at least as far as I know, maybe I'm wrong for other people's parents, but they just have to like go to school, graduate, get a job, save, you know, just generally save, and like get a house and rent and whatever. We're told to like save, invest, put your money in a TSFA, an FHSA, open a retirement savings, get life insurance, do all these different things, and then on top of that, make sure, just to meet your basic needs, just to make ends meet, you have a job and a side hustle. And it's like, at that point, like, I'm working just to like just to have a roof over my head. Like, you don't even have time to have a roof over your head, because you're always going to be working just to support yourself. And it's this constant like perpetuating cycle of like, okay, you come home from your 9 to 5, you go to your 5 to 9, or, you know, 5 to 10, I don't know, and then you just go home to sleep, just to make ends meet and just to afford to put food on the table for yourself. Like, that's the norm we're living in. The fact that people need side hustles, not even want, need side hustles, is crazy. It's absolutely insane. And looking at the bigger picture, I feel like it's hard because we're ingesting this media of people traveling the world and living their perfect lives. And I know, like, or at least it looks like I travel a lot. Guys, I'll let you know in a bit, like, I'm not spending a lot of money when I travel, okay? Like, I don't know what people are thinking. And I always tell my friends, like, I have no money. And I feel like they think I'm lying because they see me taking trips. But I'm also going to get into that in a bit. But I'm not lying. I have no money. I get paid, and I'm like, I go to do my budgeting because, I do my budgeting, like, a little off topic, but I do my budgeting the week I get paid. Pay week is always the saddest week for me, by the way, guys. Like, if it's pay week and you, like, try to contact me or reach out to me to hang out, I'm like, don't even talk to me. I used to enjoy being paid. I really, truly did used to enjoy it until I started budgeting. And, I want to not put budgeting in a bad light, because I think, especially when you are poor, or, like, when you don't have a lot of money, I think it's important to know where your money is going, which is why, even though budgeting makes me sad, I'll never stop budgeting. I think it's really important, because before I would, like, get paid, and I would look at my bank account the second time and all the money's gone. I don't know where it went. So I think it's important to budget and to do that, because even though it gives me the super awareness over, like, where my money's going and how much money I don't have, and it stresses me out, it still helps me at least to keep a paper trail. And I guess I can see, like, the numbers, like, add up over time, for sure, over a long time. But yeah, pay week is so sad for me, because it just makes me extremely aware of how much money I don't have after I do my budgeting. And so at that point, I'm like, you know what, I don't even want to get paid. Keep it. I don't want it anymore. You guys ruined it for me. Pay me more. But yeah, so back to what I was saying. Yeah, we have, like, everyone around us in different, like, parts of their life, and then the media just portraying this, like, ideal life, and it's either, like, it's, like, so far out of reach for us because this is the norm that we're living in, or they're just faking it. And you guys know, like, I'm not gonna fake it, okay? I tell everyone I'm broke. I have no money. Like I told you guys, I have $200 to make it through the 2 weeks. For this week, I have 3. Okay? Someone invited me out today, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna stay home. Thank you. Like, I kid you not. I wish I was joking. But yeah, it's so far out of reach. Everyone knows that I'm broke. But it's also, like, really sad to, like, think you have to choose between, like, hanging out with your friends and seeing the people you love, or money. Or, like, not having enough money and having to choose, okay, well, do I put gas in my car, or do I go see my friends? Like, it's, like, something I feel like it's so shitty to have to choose between, because, like, an average hangout is, like, more or less approximately $50. And that's not even including gas. So it's, like, crazy. Or if you have to get a gift too for the person, which I want to say right now before I forget, guys, like, no one that actually truly cares about you and loves you is going to want you to go into debt buying them a gift, not an account. But whether that means you go $5 into debt, $10, $50, $100, yeah, so just, I saw that somewhere last Christmas, and I think it's really important to acknowledge, because I think we get so, like, caught in the moment of, like, oh, my friend's birthday's coming up, or oh, Christmas is coming up, I need to, like, I need to get them a gift. But just, like, remember, at least for me, and I know the people I hang around, like, we do not want you to go into debt just getting us a gift. Like, your present is a present enough. And I think that's really important to acknowledge, because at the end of the day, I'm not paying for your credit card bill. I'm not. Okay? You're not paying for mine. And that's okay. So we just need to like remember that and try to think about it. And honestly, like if someone doesn't get me a gift for my birthday or for whatever occasion, I don't think of them any less. I'm like, shit, same. We're on the same boat. It's okay. And so with that being said, I think it just leans into how I spend my money and how I accept and receive and give gifts, because I don't have the privilege, unfortunately, to want things I don't need. I asked for winter tires and a Longo's gift card for Christmas last year. Yeah. Those are the kinds of gifts I like. And, you know, I didn't realize how expensive winter tires were. That's crazy. It's crazy. But anyways, yeah, those are the gifts I asked for, like things I actually need. And I usually will accept money. Surprise, surprise. But, you know, obviously, like, people can feel free to get me nothing always, but I don't care if you're giving me $5. I'll take it. Thank you. I appreciate the $5 as much as I would appreciate $100. Okay, money is money. It's gonna make a difference in my life, I promise you. And so people don't want to give money because, and this is just me, I don't know if anyone else can relate, but I also have like, just like in my Amazon cart, I always have things like I want and need, not want, but things I need, but can't afford. And, you know, one of my friends got me conditioner one year for my birthday because I asked for it. And I love that because I don't want things that I'm not going to use. And quite frankly, I don't ask for things that I'm not going to use. And I feel like it just makes sense to me because I don't want people that are taking their time and effort and money to get me something to like get me something I'm not going to like utilize and use. And vice versa. Like I don't want to get my friend or someone a gift that I know they're not going to use. It's wasting my money. We already know my money is so low. Okay? I did a research study last year, and that was my Christmas gift money. No joke. Yeah. I was in that PET scan with the IV, thinking, yeah, everyone's gonna love their Christmas gifts. Anyways, guys, I'm not joking. I actually did that. It was scary. But I did it, and I got my money, and it was wonderful. So, yeah. Yeah. Anyways, so I really appreciate getting things that I actually need. And I'm not trying to say that from, like, a place of, like, being ungrateful. I'm just saying, like, I know the things I'm going to use and the things I'm not going to use. And if you get me something that I literally, like, did not ask for, I promise you I won't use it. I'll probably regift it or donate it. But also, I try to be extremely transparent with people so they don't waste their money. Because I don't want people to waste their money at all. And it also goes for, like, like, how I spend my money plays into how I spend it leisure-wise. Because everyone knows me, I love to travel. But I'm not spending a lot of money traveling. Okay? Like, I promise you I've never paid over $1,000 for a round trip. Because that's crazy. That's crazy to me. I also have family everywhere, like, all over the globe. So I have the privilege of being able to stay with them, or, like, family or friends usually. But if not, I'm literally, like, for tickets and for, like, B&Bs, I shop for them. Like, I have to turn the lights down low so the FBI agent outside my window doesn't see me shopping. Turn the VPN on. Okay? And then you have to shop for the tickets at like 3 a.m. the nighttime. Don't tell the airline crafts agents. That's how you do it. You have to be like smart about it. Secret. Don't tell anyone. But yeah, I also shop like 3 months, 4 months in advance for tickets. Okay, when they're like dirt cheap. So that's why I like planning things so much. But yeah, I promise you, like, I'm not spending that much for tickets. And it's just important to me to be able to travel and do things with my money because, you know, I have so little of it. And, you know, when it comes to things like that, I like to spend it how truly, genuinely makes me happy. And as much as I love, seeing my friends and stuff here, sometimes I have to sacrifice and like choose between like hanging out with someone here or just saving that money and putting it towards a trip that I would really truly enjoy. And it sucks that I have to make those decisions and those I'm blanking on the word. Yeah, the word is gone. It sucks that I have to make those decisions, but yeah, it's something that is really important to me, and I urge all of you to find the thing that truly makes you happy, whether that's like doing your nails, going to concerts, because it's your money. It's your money, and you deserve to be happy with however much money you make. And so that makes me wonder, like, how much of my identity is being shaped by what I can't afford. It's not a fun thought to have, because it's this like broken system we're handed, and we're told like, here, make do with all these broken pieces, like, oh sorry, we broke them, but you can fix them. And we have to like sit with it and figure out what we want to do with the things we can't afford, and how we're going to like get to this point that we literally can't even see in our horizon. So it's really frustrating. And so with that, I have some food for thought questions for you all. I didn't even get to point out the statistics I found, but it's okay. I'll link the stats in my caption. But yeah, so how are we supposed to build anything when we're always just trying to catch up? Yeah, I don't know. And what would our lives look like if we weren't constantly thinking about money? I don't even know if there's people out there constantly not thinking about money. Honestly, if you are in that position, consider yourself lucky and thankful. Times are really tough. And what parts of you have gone quiet because you've had to prioritize surviving over living? These are like really great journal prompt questions. Yeah. And so I just wanted to point that out. I'm not here to give you the answers. I'm just here to pose the questions. This is something that has gone on for far too long. It seems like it's going to continue going on, and it's frustrating, and we're frustrated, and we don't know what to do as, the young adult population. And so there's no easy way to wrap this up. The truth is, I'm still in it, and I'm still figuring out what it means to live beside a system that asks for so much and gives so little back. Thank you for my tax return. And I'm still carrying that quiet fear of not knowing what comes next or how much I'll be able to afford it when it does. And this isn't a call to action. Like, I'm not trying to start a riot or get people to start striking. They'll probably replace us with workers that, don't even need that much. I don't know, child laborers or something. But it's just a pause. It's just a pause and a moment to say that if you feel stretched thin, like you're falling behind, and you're tired of pretending like everything is okay, you're not alone. And even when the world keeps moving like nothing is wrong, you're allowed to slow down and to feel it. Thank you for sitting with me today. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day. I know it was really spicy today. Okay, love you. Bye.